You just tuned yourself to the coolest place to buy your books to read and listen. It is the site where readers find the niftiest books, awesomest stories from the coolest authors. It is the place that books a lot.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Books on Fire live book sales. We are coming at you from a suburb or beautiful Austin, Texas. I just want to let you know that this is a Book Safi production and it is syndicated live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and of course from our site www.booksafi.com/live. Okay, well, that link is never going to get older because you're going to hear me saying it about millions of times, right? So, how it works, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be featuring quite a few books on our show today. Sometimes the author of the book will join us. He or she is going to talk about his book. And sometimes we'll have a professional reviewer joining us. And sometimes we'll even have the reviewer and the author joining us. And let's not forget you as a reader or the reader, because you're special. Just go to booksafi.com/live where you will see the books that are being featured to purchase them. Once you purchase the book, though, download our app, Book Selfie app, of course. Log in with the same credentials that you use on our site, and the books will just show up on the app for you to read or listen. What happened? I'm seeing myself on YouTube. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are having some technical difficulties here. Yes, right here. I am alive on Book Selfie, and I'm alive on YouTube. Let's see. I just got the my assistant just stood up, and said, "You're not alive on anything." Okay, well, she's giving me the thumb. Okay, she says, "Now you're alive." Okay. Okay, so let's just take it from the top, right? Well, I'm not going to work that entrance, book selfie, songs and things, but I am going to start. And I just want to make sure that everybody is with me right now. Welcome to another Books on Fire live book sales. We are coming at you from a suburb of beautiful Austin, Texas. Just want to let you know that this is a Book Selfie production and it is syndicated live this time. Okay, hopefully. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and of course from our site www.bookselfie.com/live. Now that link, you're going to keep hearing me saying it millions of times, and of course it's just going to be in your dreams pretty soon. However, I just want to explain this is how it works. We are going to be featuring quite a few books on our show today, right? Sometimes the author of the book will join us to talk about her books, and sometimes we'll have a professional reviewer joining us, right? And sometimes we'll even have the reviewer and the author joining us, and they're going to be like talking to each other, and we're talking about the book, of course. Now, let's not forget you, as a reader, just go to booksafi.com/live where you will see the books that are featuring on our show today. Once you purchase the book, download our Book Selfie app, log in with the same credentials that you use on our site, and the books will simply show up on the app for you to read or listen, of course. Yes, we do have some audiobooks on our website, and we do feature audiobooks also, and of course showing everything up on the app after you purchase it. It is just a magic. We call that a book selfie magic, right? Technology. So, by the way, you will see the link download to link to download the app in the footer of the website. Don't be just looking around. Just go to booksafi.com/live, go to the footer. You will see the link. You can just download the app. No problem. Okay, so today we are going to start with a nonfiction book to move you up in your career, right? Good start. Follow it with horror. Then we are going to jump over to another genre. You know, it is a thriller adventure fiction. And we are going to insert a little fantasy. Not that kind of fantasy. You got to get your mind out of the gutters. And next up, we're going to talk about some sci fi comedy. We'll then follow it with a children's book. Of course, you got to have the children's book, on every show, and we make sure of that. And we are going to make a circle back to the beginning and end the show with another non-fiction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so our first book right here, actually, the author was supposed to join us, but I don't see her online. So the title of the book is Break Free from Your Hamster Wheel. Now, awesome book by an awesome author. And guess what makes her so awesome? Because she is one of the top 15 coaches in Geneva, according to Influence Digest. Well, needless to say, she is from Geneva. Don't just thinking, you're thinking now, where's Geneva? Like, Geneva is actually, she is from Switzerland, and she is supposed to be online with us, but she is not. However, that's okay. This is her book, and it's all about coaching, to make you up and up go in the sky in your career. And if you would like to speak to the author, her name is Julia Kurt. So just go to her website, www.inkick, that is INN kick.com, and drop her a note. You'll be zooming for your success before you just know it. Okay? So this one is a good book. Just go to www.booksafi.com/live and purchase the book and download the app and read the book. It is just that simple. Next one up. Okay, I don't see any guests joining us, and I started worrying because about an hour ago, everybody sent me emails saying that, hey, we're up, right? And I kept saying, yes, we are. And all of a sudden, nobody's trickling in. And maybe we should start inviting the guest or something. Let's see. Invite a guest, right? Let's do one of these. Let's send them an email, shall we? Okay. Well, until then, I am sure that is odd. That is very odd that they are not joining us. So let's just send them an email, will you? So, well, I just got an email from the author of this book saying that, hey, did I miss the time? Well, I suppose the answer is yes, but that's okay. We'll get her. Next time, I guess. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are up with this book, The Darkness of Truth. Let's talk about some scary stuff, shall we? The Darkness of Truth, and authored by, let's just show this dashing young man right here, Life J. Erickson. You know, he was actually on the show last week, if you remember. Yeah, pretty cool guy, right? Mainly sci fi, but he also has a few horror books, and this one, The Darkness of Truth, is definitely a must read. By the way, the cover right here is made by us, Book Selfie, and we have also run some promotions for this book. That's one of the, or let's say, two of the services that, two of the many services that we provide to the authors. Now, my most favorite quote from this promotions was, "What will you find in the darkness that you are unable to find in the light?" Whoa! You know what? Only a cool author can come up with that. Something, you know. Well, I wish I could come up with something like that, but the authors, you know, they are creative. Well, what I'm going to do is I am going to read the first paragraph from the back blurb. Okay. Specs usually help. And the reason why I'm reading this is because you will see how awesome this book is. Here goes. What if everything you knew about existence and the human experience was wrong? Would you want to step into the light, be set free, and accept the consequences? Or would you want to stay hidden in the darkness, safe in the midst of unknowing that shrouds our world? If you knew the truth, would you tell your friends and loved ones or keep the horrible secret for yourself? Would you save the world or save yourself? Now, awesome book and a must read. Go to bookselfie.com/live, purchase the book, download the app, and immerse yourself into the darkness. You know, let me just take these specs off. Into the darkness. Yes, you know what? We should have some sound effects here. And I can just picture the finance lady jumping up and down now. No, no, no more money. We're not going to spend any more money. You know, okay, we should have some sound effects, you know. Okay, well, we're done with that book. So, next one up. Again, everything is very odd. I don't see people joining us. And like 2 minutes ago, I had people. Let's just take a look here. Let's just make sure that we are actually live. Okay, I just heard the news that Instagram, other than Instagram, we are just live about everywhere. And yes, I see that everything is working here. I'm just testing it, guys. Make sure that the authors are coming in. And yes, we are alive. And well, if they join us, they join us. If they don't, we just talk about it. So, next book up. This actually, well, she was one of the authors that we talked about last time. It was one of her books. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an award winning author all the way from Washington State. The name is Nancy Leonard, right? Right here. we are going to be talking about her book. While she was one of the authors. She even sent me an email saying, "Hey, I'm all good to go, but I don't see anybody online." So this is what we're going to talk. Let's just talk about her book. This is her second book in this series, by the way. She's got, I believe, 5 books, and we are done with the promotion of the series. And I believe, I have no idea how many books we sold, but we did sell a bunch of books now. And I was certainly hoping that Nancy would join us, but regardless, all you want to do is actually go to bookselfie.com/live and purchase the book. Okay. And definitely, you're going to enjoy it because she is an winning author from PNWA, and that is one of the highly respected author associations in America, in the West Coast, I believe. And she is from Washington State. So let's just put this one down too. And right now, let's talk about a little bit about Book Selfie, right? We're going to take a little break, and because I'm going to talk about what we have planned for our readers. So, in the upcoming week, we are going to have a raffle. All you have to do is to enter your name and email, and we are going to pick a couple of winners to give away a bunch of books. And if you're looking here, these are 3 books that we talked. You know, you should see it. Bunch of books, bunch of books. Now, if you are the winner, we are going to send you a message to confirm your email again. And as soon as we get your confirmation, the prize, ladies and gentlemen, will be on its way to you. Bunch of books. So, the best way to get your name into this raffle, okay, just go to, come on, you guys know the link now, bookselfie.com/live, baby. Scroll down a little and fill out that small form in the bottom, and that is it. So, that was a message and a half, baby. Now, we are going to talk about, let's see, right here. This, ladies and gentlemen, the Journey of Acolyte. So, we started with an author from Geneva, Switzerland. And we came back to America, go all the way to the West Coast, right? Washington State. Now we're going to hop on the plane. We're going to go across the Atlantic again and back to England. Why? Because Mark, he is a very creative author and he is from England. And this is one of his books, right? And the right here, the Ascavian Chronicles, Journey of the Acolyte. I just have to mention this one more time. Every time I get a chance, I got to mention this. I do like the cover. This is, again, a creation of Book Selfie. Every time I get a chance, I got to just, up and talk about Book Selfie. And I believe we did, a month of promotion on this book, but don't quote me on that. Now, back to Journey of the Acolyte. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the second paragraph on the back blurb, right? Okay. Again. Yes, I do need this. In fact, I have very bad eyes from birth. So, here is it, the second paragraph. Having mysteriously disappeared from home, his best friend and a wizard embarked on a desperate search for him. Meanwhile, unbeknown to all, another party sought his life. Here's the kicker. A friend in need is a friend indeed. But does Vesperos actually need his friends? Again, I like that. A friend in need is a friend in need. You gotta love this. As I said, this gentleman right here. Whoops. Let me just show this book. Yeah, again, a dashing young man from England. And very creative. And this book is full of these cool phrases like that. So why am I telling you this? Check this out. Pretty nice book, full of cool phrases. So all you got to do is just go to www.bookselfie.com/live, buy the book, download the app, and read it and live it, baby. You got to live this book because it's full of phrases. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about this one. This is the second book of H2 right here. H2 Lift Ships. That's it. That's the name of the series. And the title is, let's just do this, A Backstory, right? Written by Bob Freeman. Now, we actually featured one of his books last week, right? Bob couldn't join us because he had some sort of an appointment or whatever. And I was expecting to see him this week too. However, again, something is up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see any authors coming online. That makes me scary, scares the crap out of me. I don't know why. So, let's just talk about this book again. Well, Bob, in this series, it is a humorous sci-fi book, right? Let me just get this up. Okay. I wish I could just stop the whole show and give him a call and saying that, hey, what's the problem? But anyway, so they are not online for some reason, and we're just going to keep going, and talking about these books. And ladies and gentlemen, this book is again humor, sci-fi. It's not one of your going to the space and fightings and all the military action and everything else. It is quite humorous, and Bob did a good job. And two things that you can actually gather from this book. One, it's a great book. Two, come on, you got to buy the book. You got to read it, right? So go to bookselfie.com/live. But this book, just buy this book and make yourself happy and smiling, because believe me, Bob is going to keep you chuckling and laughing and all that stuff. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I said at the beginning of the show, you got to have a children's book. Whoop, going like this, right? So, Once Upon a Pond. This right here, it's white and you may not be able to see quite well, but this is by my favorite doctor, Gregory Gordon, right here. I keep missing the camera today, Oh well. So, I just have to mention one more thing. Let me just take these glasses off first. Yes, now I can see. Yes, he is actually a medical doctor and also a children's books author. Yeah, go figure. It's pretty cool, eh? Well, he tried to join us last week with another one of his books, again, children's books, but being the greatest technology expert ever born, he couldn't get his earphones working. So I was just giving him a hard time. And this week, he just wasn't available because he's doing his doctoring things. And maybe next week we'll just catch him. Okay, so, and besides being a great doctor and a wonderful guy, he is also a very cool and really creative children's books author. I gotta mention that. So, just to show you, what I'm gonna do is I am going to read the beginning and the first page of the story, and you are simply going to be moved and become quite curious, right? So, ready? Let's do it. Okay. Well, this book is written with huge letters, so I don't have to put my glasses on. Whew. Maybe I should thank him for that. Okay, here's the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to read it for you. Once upon a pond, a long time ago, a great lesson was learned that is still discussed in the fish schools below. And here is the first page. It's the same. It starts with the same illustration. Okay. It all took place in and upon a pond on a high crest. It was surrounded by mountains to the north, east, and south. However, it offered a majestic view to the west. This pond was out in the middle of nowhere. Not many people ever came around. Few knew it was even there, or that it was the best place from which to watch sunsets for miles around. Now, if you ask me, uh, maybe you should stop being a doctor, medical doctor, huh? I'm just kidding, Greg. Just kidding. Keep doing your good deed, my friend. So, and again, it's full of awesome illustrations, and we have to mention the name Jason Martin. Okay, let me just bring it up a little bit more. Yes, he is the illustrator. It is an amazing book with awesome illustrations, and it is also an inspiration to your kids. So go to www.bookselfie.com/live and make it your own and read it to your kids. They are going to love it. Okay, so I keep getting these emails, and I'm sure there is something wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And I just received the second. It says, still waiting, and I don't see these people online. Uh, let's try one more thing here. Let me send this link. Okay. Let's see if anybody is going to trickle. And let me send another link to another person. Let's see if he is going to get this one. I don't know why. Send it all out. Let's see. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of authors coming in, because I would love to have those authors as guests, because like Bob, he was quite enthusiastic talking about, he wanted to talk about his books. And just because he couldn't join last week, and talking about another enthusiastic person, here you go, this one, Nancy. And I got like 2 emails from her, and still I don't see anybody online. Something is up. And this is Chris. I told him to get online at 2 o'clock. It's almost like 2:30 or something like that, and I don't see him online for some reason or another. Everybody's out, so keep going. Let's talk about, yes, this book. Let me get my handy dandy gizmo here. So we are going to talk about committing to transformation. And by the way, we just made the circle. Remember, we started with the nonfiction book, and we talked about non-fiction books and the children's books. Now, this is the last one. This is a nonfiction book, and I am actually, I have to say, Chris Kyle. He's a successful business owner. I am inclined to call him a business and a personal coach, but I know that wouldn't do him any justice, because he is a hell a lot more than that, with his like 20 plus years of experience and knowledge in his field. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, talking about somebody here, Chris just dropped in for, let me just get him online. Aha, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris, I was just saying some good words about you. Can you hear me? Talk? I can't hear you. Ugh. We are full of surprises today. People, let me just finish up my words as I'm talking, so you should be able to hear me. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first one of the 3 books. And Chris is trying to say something, and I have no idea. So, I know, I can't hear you either. Yeah, we're both like stuck. But go ahead, get offline and come back. Maybe you'll fix something. How about that? Let's do that. There you go. Oh, maybe you heard that one. Okay. So this is the first of the 3 that he published. And this is the series that he calls the 15-step plan to personal transformation. Okay. The reason is, of course, there are 15 books in the series, and 3 of them are out, and this is actually the first one. So, oh, I see him drop back in. Let's see.
Hear you now. I don't know why I couldn't before, but
there you go. Committing to Transformation, Chris Kyle. And let's talk about your book. I'm going to ask you to sell your book, Chris. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've been doing trainings, workshops, coaching for close to 30 years, and teaching people how to transform areas in their life where they're looking to make radical changes or radically increase the results that they're getting in relationships, personal life, well-being, etc. So I wanted to write a book, a very simple book that lays down the basic principles and disciplines and distinctions regarding how to do that, the art and science of transformation. People throw that word around all the time, but they don't even know what it means. So what I mean by transformation is that it's a chance, it's an opportunity to discover assumptions and preconceived notions that guide us subconsciously through life, so we can redesign them when they're not working. If it's done well, it completely shifts our ability to see and do things that more align with what we aspire to. Even when we feel stuck or things aren't going well, we're able to shift in the way, in our ability to relate to ourselves and others, such that it empowers us to really engage and accomplish the things that we have heartfelt commitments and passion for. So it's a simple book that breaks it down, but it's based on thousands and thousands of hours of working with people and distilling this down in repeatable disciplines and practices that work. So it's real simple. There's just a few disciplines that we get into that really set you up to win in life, and they enable you to make some major shifts in your awareness and the context within which you interpret things, in what you see as possible, in your capacity to take intentional action that produces the results that you want. And some of the disciplines that we get into is how to stay present and grounded in the moment. A lot of times we get stimuli in our life and triggers that really knock us off our game. We get distracted. We live in a world that's just completely full of distractions. So what do we do when we're not really paying attention to what we say we're up to? How do I become present and grounded in that moment? It's not something you just will. It's not just something that comes over you. You actually practice disciplines that get you into that mindset. Another one is just being open to discovery and awareness. We get so stuck in the way we think things are. And the only thing I know about the way I think things are is that it's not 100% accurate ever. So there's always something to learn. How can I interrupt the habitual ways I'm relating to see what's possible beyond those? Easy to talk about, different to pull off. So that's a big one. How do you reframe limiting conversations? We all have a conversation about who I am, who others are, what's possible, what I'm capable of doing, what others are capable, what's possible in life with my circumstances. So when those are limiting what I see possible in life, how do I actually step by step reframe that limiting conversation to an empowering conversation and have that rule the way I'm engaging the things I'm endeavoring to engage to create value and resource in my life? How do I shift unresourceful attitudes when they're getting in the way? We all have unresourceful attitudes we get caught up in. Resentment, sadness, bitterness, anger, disappointment, just giving up. When I'm stuck in an attitude like that, it's not my destiny. How do I shift that to an attitude that will work? It's a straightforward process. So we get into how to do that in the book and how to create new ways of being. You ever been around someone who's in a funky, unresourceful way of being? You know, they're sour, they're negative, they're angry, they're hopeless, or just stuck. All of us get into those. So when that happens, you can actually shift that in the moment. It's not like over the course of 4 years. You can shift it in a matter of moments, like no kidding. So how do you do that? We get into that in here also. And then how do I commit to and create results that are beyond what I've seen possible before in my life? You could call it unprecedented. In other words, there's no precedent or history that I can do something, but I want to do it. I want to take it on. It could be a relational dynamic. It could be things I want to accomplish in my life. How do I produce those kinds of results consistently? So this book is really about how to lay the foundation for transformational living, but I also like to throw the word sustainable transformation. It's not like you put in a big effort and then make some progress and then you just revert back over the course of the next few weeks into how you've been before. It's sustainable. You can create dramatic growth and sustain it. It can stick, dramatic growth that sticks. So that's what this very simple, short book is about. It lays the foundation on how to accomplish that in your life.
It's awesome. So I have to show your picture, your young and dashing picture.
Yeah.
You know, and I have another author online, and I have to put him online. And I actually want to thank you, Chris, for the explanation. And anybody, Chris's books are, again, of course, bookselfie.com/live, and just go ahead and purchase the book and download the app and you can read it. And one more thing that I have to add, of course, all these coaches, business coaches, personal coaches, they make these books humongous. I'm looking for one, but Chris intentionally makes them smaller so that you can actually get the gist just like in about an hour, maybe two, depending on how fast you read. But as he said, it's sustainable. So thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back now. Somebody missed the time slot. So,
It wouldn't be the first time.
yeah. Well, we won't talk about that. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Freeman. This is his second book. We talked about his first book last week, and he's with us right now. And I want him to sell his book. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, I'll do what I can. This is really just more of an entertaining book. It's reimagining space travel without rocket ships, where people would use solar sails to basically colonize the heliosphere, the whole Earth's area. And we go around to the asteroids. We follow the education of one of the main characters and actually becomes a captain of her own ship. And basically travels around, deals with pirates, with family, with attacking algal rocket ships, and just has a lot of fun. There's we've got humans, canines, simians, octopuses, or navigators. So it's strictly entertainment, and the whole premise was to have a system use the magical faster than light drives and uses only reagents we have here, which is basically hydrogen and solar sails.
Okay. Well, the first book, we were having a party on the desert.
Right.
Are we having a
No.
party on the desert?
Yeah, we actually go up to the redwoods this time with self-driving cars, which they hijacked, and they end up at a home unity base, which is a casino, where she meets her parents, who are basically pirates in a sense. In effect, her father gets dropped on a divorce asteroid, which is an interesting way to divorce someone. You basically abandon someone on the asteroid.
Okay.
And he gets picked by some pirates and ends up taking over the ship. And it just goes from there. We have another set of the humans that actually rent a ship, end up on Earth, get locked down because they can't afford to pay for the dues to get to launch again, and use lightning to blow the system up and take off into space.
Oh, sounds like today's living.
Yeah, it's all for fun.
Yes.
And this is actually the second of 4 books. The third one is you'll probably look at next week, and the fourth one is basically being written, where we bring everything to conclusion. The main problem is the attack of the biogels, which are the artificial intelligent tablets, which are completely throughout the solar system, and they turn on the humans, but then the humans turn back on them. So it depends on how it resolves. And we have things like the Mort asteroid, where there's no space to store dead bodies in the asteroids anymore because they don't degrade, and people don't like being shoved down the compost pile. So they have ships picking up people, freeze drying them, sticking them in boxes, taking them to Mercury, and then they're tossed on the grounds of Mercury and then dusted off back into outer space.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, if you can't have worms, you have to do some other way to get rid of all the dead bodies.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. When is the fourth one coming?
By December, should be.
December. Okay.
I got 3 more chapters to work on, and the editor is working on it and trying to resolve all the different issues. It's sort of like a chess game. You have all these different moving pieces and all these different people and animals, and try to get them to interact and not step on each other's toes, and hopefully come to a good conclusion.
And at the same time, being funny. That's a hard task.
Yeah, if it's without the humor, it's not worth it. No one wants a dull book.
Of course.
And I've tried to keep it completely away from all the major tropes of flaming swords and blasters and again, the magical faster than light rockets, which on the TV shows don't seem to have any exhaust that affects anyone, just sort of blows off in a nice clean air. So I'm basically playing against all the Star Trek and Star Wars systems and trying to build something completely different, but still has space travel.
And and funny.
Of course, always funny.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Bob. Well, it was a little late, but that's okay. And actually, I'm waiting for another author. However, she's again technologically a little bit not on. So this is actually the end of the show. All right. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Bob.
thank you
I'll
very
see
much.
you next week. Yep.
Catch you next time. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this actually concludes today's live event. Again, we are live every Saturday at 2 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. CST. I got to mention that we're living in America, for God's sakes. And it is on bookselfie.com/live. And the show is also syndicated live on 5 more of our channels. Well, I shouldn't say our channels, those are our social channels. Of course, these are LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Now, you should follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will be notified as soon as we have something cool for you. Now, that YouTube is quite important for us because as more people subscribe, we get more abilities to serve you better. So please just go click that button and subscribe to YouTube. That's important for us. Now, let me just mention one more important thing here. If you are an author, you will see a button in the footer of our website that says Join Books on Fire, right? Click on that button, fill out the form, and boom, baby, your books and maybe even you, if you want to, be on the show. And in the meantime, keep in mind that you can always find the older episodes of Books on Fire on YouTube and on our website, as well as, of course, the podcast. We can't forget the podcast on major channels such as Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, Google, Deezer, and then some. So, until the next live one, check out the other books on bookselfie.com and read, will you?